This is my Xtreme Onechunk Ironman, Canifis chunk. I've spent over 5,000 hours in this account unlocking the RuneScape map, one chunk at a time. A chunk is a 64 by 64 tile area of the game, and in each chunk that I unlock, I have to complete everything. 132 days ago, I rolled the monastery west of Edgeville. Over 4 grueling months, I've completed 3 brutal grinds. Get 90 mining to mine a tier 9 shooting star, get 99 smithing to smith a rune plate body, and win 1,000 games of last man standing to claim the tier 6 victor's cape. After completing these grinds, one last task remained, standing tall above all of the others, to become the first Xtreme Onechunk Ironman ever to get 99 prayer and purchase the prayer skill cape. After 4 long months, I now stand on the precipice of completing this grind and concurrently RuneScape's most infamous death chunk. Once I have the prayer skill cape, after spending over 1,000 hours in a single chunk, I will be rolling again. Okay, so the big moment is upon us. It is the first clip of the video, and we're currently sat 5 XP from 99 prayer. I'm hoping that this first set of wolf bones is going to get us the 99, or I'm probably going to be in a generational aura debt. But I guess there's not much more I can say, is there? 99 hit points, 99 attack, 99 strength, 99 defense, 99 range, 99 magic, 126 combat, and now 99 prayer. Absolutely massive. Oh god, who thought they'd ever see this on an Xtreme Onechunk Ironman? This is literally nuts. 99 prayer achieved, and with that the chunk is done. Completely done. So now I just need to go and buy the cape, which I think is the actual chunk task, and then we can get on with rolling another one. And look at all the boys here to see me get the world's first prayer skill cape on an Xtreme Onechunk Ironman. Now I need to actually find where the guy is, because with all these people here, it's a bit hard to see. Okay, I'm pretty sure he's in this room somewhere. Yes, there he is. Brother Jared. What can you do to help a bold adventurer like myself? Yes, please. Few people have the skill capes of prayer. Let's go. One as pious as you has certainly earned the right to wear one, but the monastery requires a donation of 99,000 coins for the privilege. I'm always happy to contribute towards the monastery's upkeep. And there it is. And let's put it on. Oh, it looks so good. An Xtreme Onechunk Ironman with 99 prayer and the 99 skill cape to match. That is absolutely crazy. But crucially, that is the last task on the chunk picker, and so it is time to tick it off. I'll go over the rolls that we could get, because things have changed massively since I rolled 99 smithing in the last chunk roll. So the map is now a lot more free, and there's a lot more interesting stuff on there that we could get. So yeah, let's get into the chunk picker, tick off the task, and roll a new chunk. Oh, no sponsor on this video, by the way, and my 3rd kid is being born in 2 weeks. So if you could check out the merch store and potentially buy something, that would be appreciated. I decided to release some "Why Am I Like This" items this week for reasons that will likely become apparent later in this video and in the next one. These items and a ton of other cool stuff available now at frayrs.com, link below. Cheers, lads. So we are back in the chunk picker, and we can finally tick off 99 prayer, buy the prayer cape. All of the chunks that we've, not all of the chunks, all of the tasks that we've done so far already ticked off, including the 97 smithing. That is crazy. So let's tick off this last task and then get to the chunk roll. Oh, 46 out of 46 done. No current chunk tasks. And we're ready to go. But Crucially, so many of these chunks were 99 smithing chunks. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and at least 10 of them were 99 smithing chunks. And now there's none, which is massive. Well, I guess there is one down here, but aside from that, we're good. So now there's a lot more interesting stuff we can roll. There's about 17 nothing chunks or very small task chunks as far as I can tell. And there are like 7 chunks that are like really proper grinds. So we're looking very good. The chunks that I'm kind of looking to try and get, 4 and 2 would be pretty good because that would be a start to moving towards Theatre of Blood. 29, albeit that's Herb Lore, wouldn't be the worst because it would get us 1 closer to Slayer, and we would need at least this or this to we need at least this or 28 to get to Herb Lore properly. So with 29 alone, I'd be stuck on this side of the wall, so it wouldn't actually be the full thing. But we'll see. I really want to get closer to this 99 Slayer. Well, it's not 99 Slayer, just Slayer in general, but I really want to get closer to this one. So number 17 would be a really, really solid roll. And then number 11 and number 12 are definitely the ones that I want the most, I think. Callisto is the number 11 and Venonatis is number 12. That would be so fun to do and would also crucially get me 1 closer to the Void Waker. In terms of chunks that I want to be avoiding, this one, number 3. Number 3 is the one I want to avoid the most because that would be a really, really annoying farming task. If I'm going to get farming, I want to get it from number 15 because then it's a tree patch. I've got loads of U seeds. I've got loads of magic seeds, and we will be able to get that a lot easier than doing it via allotments because I really don't have that great of a method in getting like allotment seeds and stuff. So yeah, number 3 is like the number 1 chunk I want to avoid. Number 14, I also want to avoid, but only really because it's messy. Number 14 is the Corporal Beast, which I basically can't kill. I think I may be able to get a single kill of Corporal Beast abusing the shit out of all the Rings of Recall that I got from Puro, as well as eating like over 1,000 food items. But that's it. I would not be able to do the, like, you know, potentially 5, 10, 15,000 kills that you might need to greenlog it. So that's a death chunk in so much as that I literally can't do it. So yeah, we want to be avoiding 14 only because I've never made an exception so far. Obviously, my rules are slightly different from Limpwurt and Verf's in that I've got that 1 in 16 rule. But I've never actually had to make an exception yet and say this is a task that I'm not going to do, even though it's on the chunk picker. So it would be really nice to keep that streak up and not roll number 14 until I get something like God Wars. But it's unlikely and we may roll it, and I'm just getting that out there now that we are not doing the Corporal Beast for 15,000 kills. One other thing that you may have noticed is that I've added this chunk here, which is now labelled number 1, and this chunk here, which is labelled number 5. Turns out, for a long time, I should have been rolling these. Now, they're both nothing chunks, so it's not actually that big of a deal. But this is the boat to Mossly Harmless, which I've basically been unable to... Like, I've not been rolling since, what, episode 4? For no reason at all. And then this number 5, I can only get into, like, 1 square of this down here. But it still counts as corner content, so I can roll that. That's not like a huge deal, but I feel like getting that chunk unlocked before starting the Vampire questline would actually be quite handy, because it's less of this area that I have to unlock, like, mid-quest. So, yeah, hopefully that works out and we do get number 5, because I think that would be kind of handy. So if we're going to get some corner content, I hope it's this one. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I really want the Abandoned Mine. We get to do the Haunted Mine quest, which would be quite good. And also, crucially, unlock the Salve Amulet. And the Salve Amulet is one of, like, the best chunks to roll. Because having the Salve Amulet is essentially like a budget Slayer helm if I ever get something like Slayer in the Wilderness. So that would be pretty handy as well. And I also forgot to mention, we do not want to get chunk number 13, because that puts us right next to runecrafting. This chunk here, Al Kharid, is 99 runecrafting, and we do not want that. So, now that you've got a bit of an overview of what we want and what we don't want, I think it's time to just click the button. I'm praying for just some nothing chunks to expand the map a little bit. But if we roll a massive grind straight up, we roll a massive grind straight up. So without much further ado, let's click the button, pick chunk, and see what we get. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay. Come on, be something good or nothing at all. Okay, Morytania Delta. I think that's one of the ones below Port Phasmatis, right? And I think it's a nothing chunk. I'm pretty sure it's a nothing chunk, but it does get us closer towards Theatre of Blood, which is pretty fucking cool. Okay, yes, no tasks, nut chunks, but we will go and check it out. Why not? Because I want to see, because I think that is actually the chunk with a Raxor in it. So I want to see if I can actually get there. I don't think I can, but we may as well go and see what's there. Okay, we finally got a wish about nothing chunk. In 7 months, I've rolled 2 chunks, and this is now the 3rd one. So today, we're going to be matching the last 7 months, at least. So, yeah, I'm relatively happy with that one. Okay, so here is the chunk boundary. I can't tell you after this how long I've just had Port Phasmatis, how wrong it's going to feel coming out the south of here. This has just always been grey. For almost 2 years, this has been grey. But no longer, because we're going to go on our map. I'm going to turn it off, and we're going to head on in, pay two ecto tokens to get out. This, once upon a time, would have been kind of brutal, because there are yew trees here. So that would have been kind of brutal. Yeah, looks like there's definitely no way over to the Araxor Den at all. And there's no way for me to roll the chunk south of here, is there? That's kind of the main thing that I'm looking for, because I need to see if this chunk is rollable or not before I get this one. And it looks like it's not. So that's kind of annoying, because it definitely halts our progress towards Theatre of Blood and Nightmare a little bit. But you know, maybe we'll roll this one next, and then we can start moving down the way. Obviously, Theatre of Blood would be so good. Nightmare would be so bad. So it's a bit of a risk moving down this way, but not too bad. So we are now back in the chunk picker, and crucially, I haven't been able to mark this chunk to the south of the one we just rolled as rollable. So we've actually got one less chunk that we can roll. I have remembered to do the ones over in Soul Wars. I did for the last one as well. So we've got 30 chunks that we can roll, about 15, 16 nothing chunks. So hopefully we can get more of those and expand the map. Particularly these wilderness ones, I think, would be the nicest ones to get. But I can't, oh, this is so nerve-wracking, honestly. Right, let's click pick chunk and get on with it. Go. Please don't be something bad. Please don't be farming. Anything but farming. The Forgotten Cemetery. Okay, take me there. Is that nothing? Surely that's nothing. It's 1 away from the Chaos Altar, though, so that's pretty cool. I feel like this is probably nothing. Yes, okay, that is nothing, but it is 1 closer to the Wildy Altar. Though I guess that's actually worth nothing to me now, because if you didn't already know, I am the first Xtreme Onechunk with 99 prayer. Okay, let's go check it out, though, because I want to see what this shortcut is and see if you can go both ways. I'm guessing you probably can't, but if you can, could be huge. Okay, so we are at the border of our new chunk. Thankfully, it's looking like a nothing chunk. Shame we don't have the Arceus spellbook. Is it the Arceus one to teleport here? We do have Ankus, though, which may be a better source of Ankus for Slayer one day. Ghosts. Don't know if we had Wilderness Ghosts before, so that's cool. New team cape by the looks of it. And then crucially, can we go up here? I'm guessing not. The rock's too steep to climb from this side. That doesn't even imply that I don't have the level or a diary or anything, does it? That seems like you can only come this way, which is a shame, because can you imagine if I could like have God Wars rollable? That would be so nice. But yeah, nothing too thrilling in this chunk. Obviously no tasks. But I feel like having the Wilderness Altar there is relatively cool, and it puts us closer to KBD, which is a task that, again, I'm actually not sure if is doable. It may be a bit of a Corp Beast situation, I think, the KBD without an anti-fire, but I guess we'll find out. And let's go and roll another chunk. 3 chunks rolled in one video. This is crazy. And so we are back, and we have unlocked another chunk to go further north, so that feels pretty cool. We are now expanding the map more so than we did with this one. But I feel like I'm wasting my free chunk RNG on not getting number 16. I want number 16 so bad, because what would be better than being the first Xtreme Onechunk to 99 Prayer? I think being the first Xtreme Onechunk to 99 Slayer. So number 16, I'm like fiending for right now. I would also be able to teleport up there as well from Edgeville, so that would be absolutely massive. But yeah, nothing much more to talk about. And I think it's time to just hit the button again and get going. Let's see what we get. Come on, something good. Not farming. Oh! Oh! Oh, that is a big one. Varrock Palace. Take me there. Now, this is some tasks. That is massive. That is actually huge. What task have we got? Children of the Sun, complete the quest, which means we now have Varlamore as a chunk that we can roll. Daddy's Home, complete the quest. That's pretty cool. I think that gets me like 6 construction, potentially. Demon Slayer up to number 3, Shield of Arrow, complete the quest, and then a couple of Varrock Diaries. Now, this is actually a very interesting chunk that I'm going to have to talk you guys through. There are 2 grinds that you might think would be unlocked with this chunk, but aren't. The first is construction. In the Varrock Palace chunk is located an estate agent, and for those of you that don't know, estate agents sell you access to a player-owned house, the only way to train construction in RuneScape. Estate agents also sell the skill cape of construction, requiring 99 construction to purchase. On the face of it, this seems like it would unlock a 99 construction grind for me, but it doesn't. Most players in the game teleport to their house using the teleport to house spell. However, your POH is not an abstract place removed from the game world. It is actually physically accessible via an overworld portal, much like the entrance to a dungeon or a minigame that you may be able to teleport to, but that isn't their primary way in. For this reason, construction will never trigger on the chunk picker under the Xtreme Onechunk rules unless you have a valid overworld entry point into your house, and currently, I do not. The 2 most likely house portals that I will unlock in the future are either the Rimington portal requiring level 1 construction or the Taverley portal requiring level 10. Once I have one of these portals and the construction level to match, then the 99 construction task will immediately become available. The second grind that you might think would trigger in the chunk picker but hasn't is a farming grind using the tree patch outside of Varrock Palace. The reason that this isn't triggering a 75 farming grind is due to the 1 in 16 drop rate meme grind training limiter that I originally spoke about in episode 2 of this series. There are no seeds that I currently have access to that fall within the 1 in 16 upper bound that I set over 2 years ago. Please do bear in mind though, this does not mean that farming will never be a task. If I roll the Morytania allotment patch, an 82 farming grind will appear in a chunk picker, and I will actively be going for it. Farming will not be passive in that regard. Now, with all that explained, let's get back into the live clips. And so the fateful day is upon us. We have finally rolled Varrock Palace. I'm literally so buzzing about this chunk. It is so much better than having gotten the allotment one. So much better. Because if I roll the allotment one and get the farming tasks now, once I get to level 60, I can actually start using the U seeds and the magic seeds that I've got to like get the farming up a lot quicker. So this is very, very handy to have now. We've got an estate agent, so we can finally get a house. Obviously, we can't actually train construction because we don't have a house portal. But crucially, this now basically makes Varlamore rollable. And that, to me, feels very, very, very sick. So, let's go. Let's get in there and just start knocking out some of these tasks. Doing quests is like the rarest thing. I've got 5 quests completed, one of which was Rune Mysteries that I should never have completed. That was a mistake that I made 1 minute into this account when I didn't realize how much of a big deal it was. And Priest in Peril, which was obviously done before the account. So we've actually done 3... No, because Restless Ghost was pre-account as well. So we've actually done 2 quests total on this account. And now we're going to be able to do 3 just from this chunk. So that is pretty cool. So let's pull up the map, unlock the chunk, and go in. We are now in Varrock Palace. Oh my god, this is so cool. This is so cool. Oh my god, I'm so happy to have this chunk. So happy. And crucially, the tasks are going to take like less than an hour. So let's get on and do the tasks. I am on track to hit my target of 70,000 subscribers by the end of the year. On my last video, over 90,000 views came from people unsubscribed to the channel. If just 1/3 of those people watching this video subscribed, I'd hit 100k by the end of the month, never mind 70k. So if you're one of those people, please hit the button. It's free, and it gets me close to my long-term goal of getting 100,000 by the end of 2026. Enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so it is time to start Children of the Sun. I don't actually know if I need any items or anything for this. But I guess I better just get started, talk to Alina, and see what happens. And we're straight into a cutscene. I guess that's a modern quest for you. Oh no, I'm straight into a chase scene by the looks of it. Okay, right, let's hope this is quite easy. I think this is the bit that I actually needed the chunk, like, needed the Varrock chunk for. Maybe I'm wrong. Guess we'll find out. Okay, so this is the part where I needed the Varrock Palace, because he's obviously escorted me up to the top of the palace to finish the quest. And I don't think I'm going to like get teleported back down again at the end. I think I'm basically just going to end here. So I think this is why I need to have the chunk that I just unlocked to do this quest. But we're about to have Varlamore access. Seeing my first Varlamore NPCs here, I can already tell it's going to be a nightmare pronouncing all of the NPCs and items and all that over there. But it's looking like we're about to get Varlamore access done, which is kind of huge, no? 1 quest point and access to Varlamore. Now, this access to Varlamore is 100% a primary method to get to Zaya. It's equally as valid as getting the boat from the docks in Port Sarim. So this is very, very exciting. I think at this stage it's worth discussing the order of priority of how and when fast travel options are available as means of rolling a chunk. The first thing to consider when asking, can I use this fast travel method, for example, a boat, is can I walk there from any of my current chunks? If the answer is yes, then you must do so and cannot unlock said chunk from the fast travel. This covers everywhere on the mainland for me at this current moment in time. However, there are many chunks available that are not part of the mainland. For example, Karamja, Zaya, and other such alternative landmasses. To get to these chunks, you need to roll them via a method that does not involve walking. Again, most often boats. In this scenario, there is another question you must ask yourself, however. Does this content exist for the sole purpose of transporting me to this next chunk? If the answer is yes, then that's fair game. If the answer is no, and it can be used for other things, then you need to see if there are alternative means elsewhere that do fit this description that act as a more primary way to get there. The most commonly asked about version of this is charter ships. I have access to charter ships in Port Phasmatis and have done for a long time. And amongst other places, they can take me to Karamja. And people relatively often ask me why Karamja isn't rollable from here. Well, the answer is that the charter ships are an alternate way to get to Karamja and a ton of other places. The primary way to get to Crownjet is via the sailors on the docks of Port Sarim, whose sole purpose for being in the game as content is to make this journey, and they don't do anything else, and therefore they fall under position 2 of the flowchart, therefore superseding the charter ships that fall under the definition of position 3. Now, let's apply this flowchart to the continent of Zaya. From the mainland, you cannot walk to Zaya, and so position 1 on the flowchart is defunct. This means we then move down to position 2. Does any content exist with the sole purpose of enabling travel to Zaya? And the answer to this question is yes. Veos on the Port Sarim dock can only help you travel between Zaya and Port Sarim, and so he supersedes the charter ships that I do have available, and so I can't use them to get to Zaya until I've unlocked Veos and the chunk where the charter ships would dock in Zaya. However, there is actually a second primary way to get to Zaya, and that's via regular Sentinel and the Quetzal transport system located outside Varrock's East Gate, after completing Children of the Sun. This Quetzal system meets the definition of position 2 on our flowchart, just as much as Veos does on the Port Sarim dock. The Quetzal can only be used to travel between Varrock and Varlamore, with the intra-Varlamore Quetzal system being a distinctly separate system that you can gain access to once you land in Varlamore, and you cannot walk from the mainland to Varlamore. And so our query on how to get there falls down to position 2 on our flowchart, a position which the Quetzal fits the definition of perfectly, and thus, for this reason, from this point forward, Varlamore is now a rollable chunk. Right, so we're about to start Demon Slayer. This is clearly why I couldn't do it before, is that I needed to speak to Serpris in this room in Varrock Palace. So let's go on with this. I can't actually finish this quest, I don't think. Not entirely sure why, but I guess we'll find out shortly. Go down into the Varrock sewer via the manhole southeast of Varrock Castle. I can still do this. I feel like we're getting somewhere with this quest. Come on. I feel like Wizard's Tower is the reason we can't do it. But I feel like we're getting a decent bit done. Right, okay, so this must be the one I can't do. Bring Wizard Tribe on 25 bones in the Wizard's Tower. Obviously, I don't have the Wizard's Tower, and I don't have it by quite a long way. So that's it for Demon Slayer, but we do have 2 of the keys, and I'm guessing what, there's just 1 more from Wizard Triborn, and then we would be able to finish it, because we have obviously got the Dark Wizard Circle south of Varrock, so that's pretty cool, and we're very nearly done with Demon Slayer, kind of. Right, so let's go and turn these planks, turn these logs into some planks. There we go, we now have those, and now I need to trade him, and I need to buy, what is it? 1 saw, 5 bolts of cloth. Right, I think that's everything I need. And now we can go and talk to Marlowe in Northeast Varrock. Right, welcome to the Varrock branch of Mahogany Homes. Right, oh, so is this the quest that unlocks Mahogany Homes? I guess that would make a bit of sense. Right, talk to Old Man Yarlow in South Varrock. Right, okay, we started the quest. I'm guessing it's not going to take long, but let's get on with it. Okay, right. I think this may well be our first construction XP on the account. Build carpet. Oh my god, we're getting levels. Look at this shit. We now are going to have 1 less level 1 stat. This is so exciting. Oh my goodness, we're about to get level 2 construction. It's the end of an era right here. Level 2 construction. Crazy times. Total levels absolutely flying right now. This is very epic, I must say. Level 3 construction. What are we going to get? Level 4 just from this, I guess? Wooden table, I think that's 87. Level 4 construction. That's kind of nuts, man. That is kind of nuts. Okay, 6 construction now. Massive, massive. Okay, looks like we've got 6 construction, so that's going to be... surely we get some level of construction XP from the quest as well. I wonder if we'll hit level 10, because if we hit level 10, that means if we unlock Taverley, we get a house portal we can actually use and get 99 construction in Taverley. So that would be kind of cool. Right, done this. Yes, what have you got for me? And 400 construction speed gets me level 8. Okay, so we didn't get level 10. That's interesting. Okay, cool. Right, that seems done. Got some stuff. House teleport tab. Oh, these are like teleport tabs. I feel like that's something I'm not going to have for a long time. That's pretty cool. Right, talk to Raldo and let's start Shield of Arav. Such an iconic quest. Very exciting to be doing this on this account. And I believe we can do the whole thing. I think the chunk picker said, so we should be good. Okay, so turns out that I can only do Phoenix Gang. I was about to start doing Black Arm Gang, and once I'd got locked in, I'd have locked myself out of the quest. But turns out I can only do Phoenix Gang, so I'm now doing Phoenix Gang, okay? We're all good. Come here, Johnny, you little bastard. I've got 1,000 wins at Last Man Standing. You're done. Can't even one-hit him. But at least I did kick a man to death.
Ooh, you're hard, showing off.
That's quite exciting. Take the intel report and go back to the Phoenix Gang base. Easily done. Okay, let's find King Rold and talk to him to finish this quest. Obviously, this account has spoken to King Rold once before when I did Priest in Peril. But that hasn't been for about 2 years. But there is Shield of Arav done and the final quest in the chunk that we can do. And so we just need to do, I think, 2 diary tasks and get the Ornate Helm. And I'm unclear as to yet what I need to do to get the Ornate Helm. But definitely not going to take that long.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Right, so let's bowl over here with our smite up. And I believe if we pray at this altar, this should be another hard diary task. There we go, that's done. How are we looking on the Varrock diary, actually? Not too bad, but more of the hard tasks than the medium tasks. Yeah, doesn't look like we're going to get this done anytime soon. The 153 kudos, that's a fucking rip. There's a high likelihood that you've never seen this item before. It's called the Ornate Helm, and it was originally conceived as a reward for completing one of the clues from the Crack the Clue 2 event. However, you don't actually need the clue to receive the item, just the ability to do the emotes required in the exact right place with the exact right items. All I need to do to get this helm is to stand south of Varrock with a wooden shield, cheese, and a plain pizza in my inventory. Easy, right? Wrong. I don't have easy access to a plain pizza. I don't have access to the pizza itself, and I've got really limited access to the items needed to make one. Pot of flour, easy item to obtain. Yes? Wrong. 1 in 64 drop from an impling. Tomato, easy item to obtain. Yes? Wrong. 1 in 128 from a Chaos Dwarf. So, as usual for this account, an untracked unique that should have taken less than a minute to get ended up taking a whole lot longer than that. Plain pizza, make pizza base, pot of flour. Oh, you are fucking joking. Tell me the only source of the pot of flour is not a 1 in 64 drop from a... Ooh. You are joking me. Oh, Christ. Sadly. You just know, right? Fuck off with the pot of flour. The regular pot. Oh my god. Twice now. Bread dough? No, that doesn't count, does it? Ah! Fuck's sake. Oh, that's so upsetting. Come on. Oh, I feel like I've been here for about 45 minutes. Yes! Oh my god! 125 imps. That took over an hour. Are you fucking joking me? Pot of flour, done. Right, use jug of water, go. Make sure I make the right one. Pizza base, that's what we need. Right. Oh, right, now we need to go get tomato. And apparently the only way I can get a tomato is a 1 in 128 drop from a Chaos Dwarf. This is the most amount of effort I think anyone's ever put in to getting an untracked unique on Xtreme Onechunk Ironman. Are you fucking joking? Right, let's go. Yes! Okay, there we go. What was kill count on that? 132. Right, let's grab that and teleport out before anything bad happens. Like this. Luckily, I think Fluebeards are friendly, so we should all be good. Did not think I'd catch that. This is not ideal. Not ideal. Run! Run! I do have my Grand Exchange teleport, so we're all good. Right. We're safe. We're out. And hopefully this means we can get the task. Right, I need some anti-poison now. I don't have any. Am I really going to have to just drink a Sanfu serum dose for this? Brilliant. Right, okay. Grab the cheese. Let's grab the dough. Did I have the dough? No, I had the flour. No, I did have the dough, didn't I? Pizza base, that's it. Okay, right. How do I do it? Use tomato. Use cheese. Uncooked pizza. Okay, good. Now I think I just need to... Oh, well, I need to actually get the wooden shield as well. Right, BRB. Right, let's hope we can't fail this. Good, we didn't. We got a plain pizza, we got a wooden shield, and we got some cheese. So I think this is all I need to get this ornate helm and finish this chunk and finally roll another one. It has been 3.5 hours since I started rolling and about 90 minutes in... about 90 minutes just trying to get this fucking pizza. So I'm going to be so happy to get this done. Okay, right. I believe that what I need to do is a bow, a yes, and a clap. And there we go. We've got the ornate helm. Looking good. Definitely the most effort that has gone in to getting this helm since the first guy did it. But we're all good. And now we can get back to the chunk picker and roll another chunk. Okay, so I'm back in the chunk picker. We have done Children of the Sun. We have done Daddy's Home. We have done Demon Slayer up to step 3A. We have done Shield of Arav. We have done the task in Varrock to do the yew trees. And we have done the smite task in the palace. And we have, with great difficulty, finally got the ornate helm. So that chunk is now done, and I just need to mark all the chunks that we can now roll, which includes Varlamore, which is very exciting, and roll again. So, right, let's get to it. So, with the Varrock Palace unlocked and Children of the Sun done, I can now roll Varlamore, which is kind of exciting. My first foray into a different continent. This is the chunk that you land in at Sunrise Palace. Obviously, I can't get to Varlamore yet because I do actually need to roll it, but very exciting. I mean, the Colosseum is like just there, so it's not that far off the cards. I mean, it's markedly closer than like the Inferno is, for example. So, very exciting to have this as something that could potentially be unlocked soon. But nothing else much has changed. We obviously have the Soul Wars chunks. We've got all of these ones, and it's time to roll a new one. I'm still very excited. I'm still very nervous. This farming one is now infinitely less bad because once we get up to level 60, we can start throwing yew trees in, throwing magic trees in once we hit 75. So this is now way less bad, which I'm happy about. But the rest of it, still exactly the same. Praying for number 15, praying for number 10, praying for number 11, number 5 would also be pretty cool. But let's hit pick chunk and see what we get. Let's go. Oh, God, this is so nerve-wracking every single time. What are we going to get? Falador Northgate? I think that's nothing, but not ideal because it puts me right next to Tavali. Oh no. That is not ideal. Right, I've got to do Doric's quest and start Goblin Diplomacy and pickpocket Falador Guards. That's basically nothing. Right, so I've got to go do Doric's quest, which should be relatively easy, though I have used literally all of my ores, so I'm actually probably going to have to go and mine those. But it's another quick chunk, and we should be back with another one. Am I actually going to roll Herblore as my next grind? Please tell me I don't. That would just not be ideal, would it? Doric's quest is the fastest quest in the game. It is completable in less than 10 seconds. Unless you're me. All of the resources required for the quest can be gathered in about 30 seconds from the southwest Varrock mine. A mine that, of course, I don't have access to. The required copper and iron are no problem for me, however, I have no easy source of mining clay available within my chunks, and so, instead, I had to gather 6 clay at a rate of 1 in 32, 1 clay at a time, from my new favourite place in the game. Are you fucking joking me? It's the third one of those! The third one of those, and I've got 1 clay, and the clay's twice as common. Are you joking? Just after I went 125 drive for it as well. Oh my god. Yes! Oh, okay, right. We got the third clay. 3 more. Oh, yes. Okay, right. 5 clay. 1 more to go. Come on. This is... How many kills have we done? A further 170 on top of the ones we just did for the pot of flour. And we got 4 pot of flowers in that. Like, why am I like this? But we've just got 1 more clay to go. Come on. Yes! There it is! The 6th clay. Which means that we can go and turn in Doric's quest. And I've also not actually unlocked the chunk yet. So I guess I should probably do that. And then the rest of the tasks are very, very easy. So with that, in fact, can I even get to it this way? No. No, I'm going to have to go up and over. Okay. Okay, so we are at the next chunk and can finally unlock it. Not a chunk I really wanted, if I'm being honest. Getting that herblore grind infinitely closer, not ideal, but it means that we can get down here and I can go and do Doric's quest, so I'll do that now. Okay, I'm pretty sure this quest is just as simple as talk to him and then talk to him again, and then we should be done. One of the more simple quests. Get a little bit of mining XP, get the quest done, and that is the main task done. Took us about an hour and a half to get the 6 clay, which is quite savage. And the rest of the chunk tasks are actually really easy. I just need to go up here and speak to the people to start goblin diplomacy, pickpocket a Falador guard, and then we're done and we can roll again. Let's go. Okay, start goblin diplomacy. Yeah, Orange Army, you need 3 goblin males, which you can find around the goblin village. The first is up the ladder in a crate. I guess technically I can do these steps, so I guess I better do them. So I can get these goblin males. But I'm not going to be able to dye them because I can't get any dyes. So that's going to be the stage of the quest that I can't do. And then we're just going to have a Falador guard to do. So, right, let's grab this. And then where's the last one? Around here. And then the next step, I believe, is going to be use some blue dye on them, which I can't do. So, we are now done with this quest because I can't get the dyes. And we just need to head over to Falador. And there we go. Medium task in the Falador area done. I'm so gutted that I can't teleport to Falador. I feel like this would be quite a cool chunk to get. I don't know if it's got anything bad in it. Possibly. But I feel like having another teleport other than the Varrock teleport would be pretty nice. But we're now done and it is time to roll another chunk. Let's go. Okay, so we are back and we have completed Doric's quest. And we have completed starting Goblin Diplomacy, and we have completed the Falador Medium Diary, so we are done. Now, the big change to the map is obviously now both of these Herblore chunks are just directly rollable. So from now, Herblore is equally as likely as a Void Waker, and up until today, I'd have said a Void Waker was quite likely. So that is quite stressful. This is our 69th chunk that we're going to be rolling. The Soul Wars ones are marked, the Varlamore one is marked, 31 chunks. Hopefully it's still relatively unlikely that we're going to get Herblore right here, right now. But There's not much more I can do than hit pick chunk and hope for the best. 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. Come on, be something good. Come on. Chaos Altar? That could very well be the Chaos Fanatic. I think. Puts us so close to KBD. Oh, it's not the Chaos Fanatic. Chaos Fanatic must be one more north. Okay, Pray at the Chaos Altar at level 38, Western Wilderness. Okay, cool. Right, we're doing that, and then we're going to be rolling again. Oh, I'm getting so stressed. How many chunks have we rolled now? 5 without like a really proper grind. I'm loving the expansion to the map. This is kind of big as well because it puts me quite close to the Ice Warriors. And I'm now only 1, 2, 3 away from Slayer this way. So we're kind of pincering in on Slayer from the east and the west. So hopefully we can keep rolling north and not get the KBD, because the KBD would not be ideal. And so here we are at our next chunk, the Chaos Altar. And let me tell you, the irony of rolling the Chaos Altar about 5 or 6 hours after getting 99 prayer is not currently lost on me. The dragon bones that I had and just buried straight into the ground definitely could have been used at these at this area. Right, I just need to go and pray on this. Hopefully we can manage to get away and not get PK'd in the middle of this. Right, there's our easy task done. Why is he fighting me? I've not got anything. Why am I getting attacked, for fuck's sake? Run away! Right, we did our task, so that means that we can go back to the chunk picker and pick another chunk. Chaos Altar, interesting one. Never going to be useful, sadly. The only chunk man for which that will never be useful. Brilliant. Right, back to chunk picker, and time to roll another chunk. Okay, so for what might be, I think, the 6th time in this video, we are back in the chunk picker, and that will the easy diary task is complete, and we can roll another chunk. Map is obviously looking quite similar. 26 and 15 are now like the ones that I'm fiending for, I would say. I'd prefer 15 because I think getting closer to Major Arena would be cool rather than getting closer to KBD. KBD is not something I want to get closer to. But as always, we're praying for 10 and 11 for Callisto or Venonatis, and anything else would be okay, I think, except these Herblore chunks. Let's stay away from those for as long as possible. But 3, 2, 1, let's go. Don't start on the Chaos Druid Circle. That's a bad omen. Amir's Arena, I think that's another free one, is it? And puts me 1 closer to Giant's Foundry, 1 closer to Rune Crafting, I guess, as well. I'd prefer not to go like this and L movement my way into the Rune Crafting without getting the Fire Altar. But it looks like it's nothing. So I guess we'll just head over there and see. Okay, so here I am at Amir's Arena, and I think basically I just don't have any of the interesting stuff. This is like just the arena portion, whereas like all of the reward shop and the teleport from the Ring of Dueling and all that is like this chunk to the west with the Fire Altar in it. So I've basically just got the arena where you can't do anything. So a very boring chunk to roll. But I guess it's just 1 more. Takes me up to 70, I think, in total. But yeah, let's get back to the chunk picker and roll another one. And we are back in the chunk picker again for a 7th time. 10% of all of our rolls have happened in this video, which is kind of crazy. We've broke new ground to the south as well. We can now have like a new roll that's the furthest south on this little main part of the map. Giant's Foundry would be pretty cool. Pretty galling, to be honest, if I get the Chaos Altar and Giant's Foundry without any grind in between immediately after getting 99 prayer and 97 smithing. But not much I can do other than just click the button and see how we get on. No tasks in the current chunk, so we can just roll again. Let's go. Come on. Praying for Clistar Venonatis. Let's do it. Come on. Come on. Not Herblore chunks. Anything but Herblore chunks. The Soul Mine. I don't think that I've rolled. I literally don't know what this is. This could be anything. I literally have no idea what these chunks contain. Hopefully not much. Nothing. Okay, right. This mine would have been handy about 15 minutes ago when I was trying to get the clay from the imps, because I believe that this mine does have clay in it. So that is rather hilarious. But let's go check it out and see what's what. Right, so we can finally now move south out of Soul Wars, so we can unlock this chunk and bowl our way in. So, decent little 3 iron spot there for if we get a mining grind of some kind. I don't know what we'd get these days for a mining grind, but we certainly can get some. And there are the clay rocks that we could have mined for Doric's quest and saved ourselves an hour and a half of imp killing that we did earlier on. But it does make these 2 chunks rollable, and these 2 could be interesting because I've got no idea what they contain. This one looks like maybe it just contains, I think, the sand crabs around here. Maple trees is kind of interesting because I've never had access to maple trees before. And then this one is a pottery wheel. Could be relevant. And anchovies, which I do have a small fishing net for. So this one must be a fishing chunk, an 85 fishing chunk. So this one's 85 fishing. This one is probably nothing but sand crabs. But yeah, let's go back to the chunk picker and roll yet another chunk. I feel like we're breaking records today. Let's go. Now, with the changes to Soul Wars, now that we have rolled this south chunk, we're now up to our record-breaking 33 chunk rolls available. So each chunk is now only a 3% chance likelihood to happen, which means no individual one is looking particularly likely. But I feel like it feels wrong rolling this many chunks in a row. So this time when we press the button, this time I feel like we're going to roll something big. I feel like there's a grind coming with this one. So let's just do it. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Come on, be something good. Be something good. Come on. Okay, right. That's the Mossly Harmless boat. I've got a feeling there's not going to be anything because I don't think I can do Mossly Harmless, but I can now get on the boat in Port Phasmatis. Yeah, no chunk test from that, but I now can get on the boat. And I guess we've got to go to the boat because I've been scarred by this, right? Once I didn't go to a chunk that had no tasks in it, and it turned out it was like this one, and I didn't know that I could then roll this, and I didn't, and then I rolled revs, and everyone was mad at me. So I'm going to have to go there and just check. Sorry, it's got to happen. Okay, so here it is. This is the chunk that should have been rollable all along, but I, for some reason, just didn't think about it. I don't think that ever... Are you fucking joking me? I can't even get on the boat. Source has scammed me. Because Source's auto check all the chunks thing gives me this. This is supposed to be rollable. Well, I mean, I guess technically it now is done, even though we didn't need to. But I guess it will free up when we get Mossly Harmless one day, which we need to do a whole load of quests for. But this has now been rolled. And I blame Source Chunk. His website is nearly perfect, but this is one of the times when it's not. I don't know why the chunk picker gave me the option to roll the Mossly Harmless boat before I could stand on it, but it's a nothing chunk anyway. And so now that it's been rolled, I think that it's cleaner to just leave it rolled and carry on as we were. I don't actually know what other chunks I would need to actually access the boat and Mossly Harmless, but I suspect that it's probably a lot. So we're probably a way off doing anything with the chunk anyway. So I guess let's get back to the live chunk rolling. Okay, we are back in the chunk picker, and now there's like only 4 chunks that we can roll in Morytania. Considering we started off as Canifis chunk, kind of crazy. Number 1, we obviously still don't really want. Number 3 is just pure corner content, and then the Haunted Mine will be done in about an hour. So realistically, all of this interesting stuff in Morytania, like the Theatre of Blood and Nightmare, is locked behind number 2. So if we could get number 2, that would be really cool. Other than that, we're aiming for 14 or 25 or 9 or 10. But yeah, let's just go again and see what the grind is that we're going to eventually get. 72 chunks unlocked. Here comes number 73. 3, 2, 1. Pick chunk. Oh, come on, be something good, please. Number 12? Is that... Oh, that's Corporal Beast! Oh, which seems terrible. It seems terrible, but... Wield an Elysian Spirit Shield, obtain a Spectral Spirit Shield, Arcane Spirit Shield, blah, 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 obtain all these Corporal Beast uniques. Now, that's going to be impossible. I cannot kill Corporal Beast without any defense reduction gear, any mage reduction gear, etc. So yeah, this is going to be one where we're just going to have to go there, check it out. But it means that one day when we do get the gear to be able to kill Corporal Beast, we are going to have to go back and do all this stuff. So that's slightly terrifying. But yeah, let's go over there and at least die to Corporal Beast once to show you how impossible it is. Right, and here is the chunk in question, one of the last wilderness ones that's kind of sat right in the middle. This cave here is, that one's Corp, I think, and then this one over here is just another entrance to the Wilderness Slayer Cave. Now, I obviously have access to the Wilderness Slayer Cave already, so before I got the Smouldering Stone, this chunk would have been a Smouldering Stone grind. I've obviously had access to Unicorns before and Ents before, but this cave is obviously new, and you can't enter what? Why not? How am I ever supposed to get in? How am I ever supposed to get in? Because all these unicorns are just sat all over the front. I'm going to have to try and hop? This makes it even less likely I'll be able to even get a single kill, to be honest. But let's bowl on in. Okay, we are in the Corp Beast layer, and I obviously don't have any food on me and stuff, so... Obviously, we're not going to put up too much of a fight, but I just really sort of want to show how much this thing will fuck me to death. And I guess there you go, with the fat hit straight off rip, is one of the many reasons why this will basically be impossible. That will have regen to full by the time I get back there. I can never kill the Corporal Beast, and I will not be able to do it until I realistically get the Bando's Godsword, which is going to require me to get up to here. Here. So we'd have to go like up via here. Because without Drain, Corp Beast is basically impossible. So let's go back to the chunk picker and roll again. But one day, that chunk is going to be one of our biggest grinds. Because getting an Elysian Spirit Shield, getting the Corp Pet, blah, 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 on any Iron Man is no joke. So let's get to it. Now, I didn't really want to just leave the Corp Beast there without giving it a proper go and throwing everything that I have at trying to kill it at least once. Even if I can get a kill, it is still a very clear and obvious meme grind. But let's get into the attempt and get a feel for just how impossible it is and why. Okay, this is rapidly becoming an issue. It is soul splitting more damage than I'm doing to it, I think. I forgot prayer potions, but I mean, just look at that. Like, it is soul splitting insane damage off me, and I can't hit it at all. This is no good. Like, oh my god, look at this shit. Oh my god, it's crazy. Right, okay, always loots the rings of recoil first, which is also not good. I'll get the rings of recoil on quick. Look at this thing, it is demolishing me. I can't do enough damage quickly enough to hit it. Like, I can hit it a little bit down, but I mean, the real key thing is how much I'm going to be able, how quickly I'm going to be able to get back here. Also, I'm relatively certain that my attacking it a bit and then leave it, or me coming into the cave at all and then leaving, made it so the loot's not counting. Because the first time I came in, the loot was counting for me. And now the loot is resolutely not counting for me. Obviously, I'm not doing any protection prayers at the moment, but normally what you would do is pray melee because of that. So it is just maging me and ranging me to death badly. Not ranging, meleeing and maging me to death badly. I've gone through 56 crabs. I'm pretty sure that the loot isn't going to count for me anyway because of that. So that isn't anyone else that's done damage. That is me doing damage in another trip. I mean, look, it's just soul splitting so much damage. And then the key thing is when it kills me here, which it's about to, am I going to be able to come back in and it still be damaged? And even more so, is the damage going to count as my own? I suspect that it's going to heal quite a lot. I'll just go straight back so that we can see. But I suspect it's going to have probably healed quite a lot. Okay, moment of truth. Does this work? Right, someone else is fight. Yeah, healed full. Yeah, no fucking chance. I did not think it was fully reset. I thought it would just heal quite a lot. But yeah, there's no chance. You basically have to be able to kill it in one trip. And the mechanic of like suiciding a load of food into here doesn't work either. So I figured out that the reason that it invalidated the kill attempt at all is not that I was in there multiple times, but that I'd hopped worlds in between. But I kind of have to hop worlds in between, and I'll show you for why. I don't have games necklaces, and if I just get into combat with one of these things, which happens almost always, you can't actually go into the cave whilst in combat. And being in combat with an Ent or a black unicorn or whatever around here is basically impossible to not do. So, yeah, that's tricky. I think, yeah, I mean, the issue is as well, right, is that possibly with infinite rings of recoil and infinite food, I could get it down. It was soul splitting a ridiculous amount of hit points back, and I think that gets worse throughout the fight. But the main issue is that these are finite resources for me. Like, I can't make these sustainably. Like, this is just all that I got from Puro Puro. The crabs, I can't fish. This is just the sum total of all that I got from doing loads and loads and loads of wildy bosses. Like, this is the sum total of, you know, a lot of wildy boss kills. If I trade with Justine, which is the only way that I can buy food, buying like manta rays and Kroambwans and anglers, oh, that sounds good, but they're all blighted, and Corp isn't actually in the wilderness as such. So I can't use those. So these super finite resources like the dark crabs, I mean, like, yeah, I've got a tiny bit of shark, but again, like, I can't fish this stuff. I've just got this passively from doing like soul wars and stuff. So as soon as this stuff's gone, it's gone forever. So, you know, maybe I could squeeze one kill out of that many recoils. I think even a really well prepped trip would end in failure, to be honest, because I just need to die once and the whole kill resets. So that wouldn't work. And then as soon as these resources are gone, like the recoils and the food, like, it's done. You know, maybe I could get one kill. Maybe I could really squeeze out 5 kills. Either way, I can't get 15,000. So I do think that backlogging Corp as a source of like tasks is the smart thing to do. But now, I think that what we're going to be looking at is probably God War's Dungeon, getting a BGS, being able to drain its stats, And then, you know, I'll be able to get a Zami Spear from here as well. I'll be able to get Armadillo, so I'd have some proper defenses. I think we're looking at God Wars as the realistic way of potentially unlocking Corp, but we shall see. Either way, though, it is not possible now. It is, you know, maybe 1 kill, maybe 5 kills. Certainly not the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands we're going to need to do to get. I mean, the Corp log is grim anyway, because if we look at the Corporal Beast, right, you've got the Pet, which is a 1 in 5,000. You've got the Elysian Sigil, which is a 1 in 5,000. You've got the Jar of Spirits, which is another 1 in 5,000. And then these, which are 1 in 1,300 each. So the chance of not going dry on one of those is actually really not likely. Because obviously to get it within 1 in 5,000 kills, we're talking 66% chance, right? So that means that mathematically 1/3 of these like Giga Uniques is going to go over rate. So we're talking like a minimum of 5,000 kills to get this. Any more than that, you know, ridiculous grind. You know, we're talking 5,000 hours or something. More. I don't even know. Either way, all I know, this is not possible at this current time. Let me know in future videos when you think it is, but right now, it is not. Okay, and so with Corporal Beast backlogged as a source of tasks, all of the tasks go away. I can't kill Corporal Beast. I am nowhere close to killing Corporal Beast. Not even once. I can't eat, like, never mind a 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 times. I can't even kill it once. So, a totally fair backlog. You know, it's not only a meme grind, it's literally an impossible grind for the time being. But one day, we will have to do it. So that is quite exciting, but I'll just tick all these chunks ready to go, and then we'll be rolling again for what I think is a 9th time? That's crazy. 9 times, or is it the 10th time? 9 or 10? Crazy, crazy day. Right, time to go again. Nothing has changed except this chunk in the middle of the map's been taken out, so there's just one less thing, so I guess everything else is now slightly more likely. But if we can get number 6, that would be kind of cool because it would mean that we then had a solid border and nothing was in the middle. But I don't want that because it would be an 85 fishing requirement. But let's hit pick chunk and see how we get on. Go. Come on, be something good. Oh! Oh, okay, that's mixed, I'll be honest. Now, that puts me right next to rune crafting as a grind, but I don't think it's actually going to give me any tasks. Okay, it does need me to start the feud, but that means rune crafting is now rollable, but it is now rollable with the fire altar, which makes it so much more doable. So as bad as that is, that now rune crafting is like very much on the cards, I at least have a good way to do it. It would be so much worse rolling the Giant's Foundry than rolling this. So I'm very happy because this brings the runecrafting grind down quite a lot. It's still a bad grind, don't get me wrong. I still don't want to be rolling runecrafting, but this brings it down quite a lot. Right, now, so for the first time, what I'm going to do is unlock this chunk remotely. And the reason that I'm doing that is because for the first time ever, I can teleport into a new chunk. Teleport to Amir's Arena. And here we are, arrived in the new chunk. Now, this is by far the most crucial thing here. This will save me hundreds, if not thousands of hours one day when we roll runecrafting. That day could be today, but hopefully not. But that will save me a lot of time having that altar and having the rings to teleport to here. This is massive. Now, another thing that is massive about this chunk that makes runecrafting so much more doable is that you can buy emeralds here. Now, I don't think I can buy those because they're overstocked, but I can buy these, and it looks like somebody has bought them out, and they only restock every, like, 5 hours or something stupid. But I can buy them, so that makes it so that I can actually regenerate Rings of Dueling at a relatively effective rate. So that's pretty handy. There's nothing else particularly of interest. Cactus Patch will be semi-useful, I guess, for if we get farming unlocked properly at some point. Ali Morytania is where I'm going to start the quest that I need to do. Well, I guess I may as well do that now. Okay, I can trade him. See, so he sells bronze pickaxes. So once upon a time, this would have been a mining and smithing chunk as well. But we're now back to... we're now here. I'm too busy eventually a full-time job. So let's start this quest. Okay. No, I don't... It is him that you start the quest with, isn't it? How do I start this quest? Why did they release an NPC that just like talks in circles and makes it really tricky to do? Right. Right. Okay, now I'm really too busy. Okay. I'm gonna have to figure that out another time. Might be time to boot up the quest helper. Okay, right. It's definitely this guy I need to speak to. Okay, right. Okay, it is that one. Then what? I'd like to... Oh, okay, I need to do that. I'd like to help you, but... Okay. Right, yes. Start the feud quest. Okay, buy a Kandarian headpiece and a fake beard to create a disguise. I don't have any GP on me, so I'll do that in a second. But the one thing that I wanted to draw your attention to is this shop, and I think it's this one, right? Is this the mold store? This is where you buy molds. So if I get Domic, I get access to do Nature Spirit quest, In Search of Myoku quest, In Aid of Myoku quest, and actually be able to start rolling to do Darkness of Hallowvale. So that would be kind of massive for our like Morytania advantages. But it does come with a cost, and the cost is that it sells a Tiara mold. And the Tiara mold mixed with the Fire Altar means that I can make silver tiaras, means that I can take fire talismans there, it means that I can make fire talismans, and that only requires level 1 rune crafting, which gives us a level 1 rune crafting method, and means that the 99 rune crafting given to us by the Varrock chunk is then valid. So we do not want to be rolling this chunk, but I'm very happy that I rolled this one, because on the off chance that we do, on the 3%-ish chance that we do, we're now basically as well prepped as we could be. So I'm just going to go get some GP, come back, talk to Ali Morytania, get the feud started, build this fucking headpiece thing, and then we'll be good to roll yet another chunk. Right, let's buy this Kandarian headpiece and the beard. Make these 2 things. And then buy a Shanty Pass from Shanty, which I can't do because it is down here. So we're currently locked out of the feud quest, which means we can tick off our only task in this chunk, which was to start the quest and roll a new one. Right, we started the feud quest, so we can tick it off. We just want to stay away from number 11. Stay away from number 11. Stay away from 26. Stay away from 27. Anything else, I will be at least relatively happy with. 3, 2, 1, pick chunk, let's go. Oh, come on, be something good. Please be something good. So many nothings in a row. I just want a good grind. South Maze Dragons? Oh, no, I thought that was one of these ones. Oh, right, I think that's nothing again, is it? I think. Yeah. Nothing again. Let's go check it out. A nothing wilderness chunk, though. We're getting close to just finishing the wilderness. God, my heart is going like crazy, man. Now, it took us, I think, 74 chunk rolls to have our first ever remote unlocking of a chunk. But we're about to do it again because we rolled this chunk, which means that I can now teleport to the Rev Caves. This is a new chunk for us. This is absolutely massive, which means if I ever need to do revs, I can get there really, really easily. This is so, so nice for accessing them, because I've always had to run from Varrock's Enclave. So just being able to walk here, like teleport there and then just walk in as simply as that is very, very nice. We also have a new Wildy Obelisk, which is pretty cool. And aside from that, there is nothing here. So some green dragons, I guess, relatively interesting, but I've got easier access to ones than that. And nothing else new. And I don't think it particularly gets us closer to anything of interest. So, yeah. Back to the chunk picker for roll number 12 in a row. In my wildest dreams, did not think I'd be rolling this many chunks in a row. Okay, that one possibly felt like the most to nothing of the nothing chunks. The teleport's pretty cool, but there really is absolutely nothing there, and it doesn't even put me closer to anything that's of relevance. So that was a really nothingy chunk. But it's time to roll another one. Everything stays the same. I'm hoping for number 2. I'm hoping for number 13. I'm hoping for Varlamore. That would be pretty cool. Let's stay away from number 11, 26, and 27. But anything else should be okay. 3, 2, 1, let's go. The 12th chunk of this day. What are we gonna get? We got it. There's number 2. That puts us closer to Theatre of Blood. That is very, very epic. Right, let's go. Okay, here we are at the chunk that I just rolled. Let's unlock that on the map and take a wander through. Take a proper gander. So now we do have the bridge to get to the south side of the chunk that we rolled earlier, which means that we are now well and truly on the path to sleep and to Theatre of Blood. Both of those chunks scare me a lot. I would definitely prefer to get Theatre of Blood before Nightmare, but there is nothing in this chunk, but it does mean that we can access this one, which is pretty handy. But yeah, I mean, just look, like, we're so close now. We're like 1, 2, 3 away. 3 away from Theatre of Blood and Nightmare. We started 5 away. So in terms of getting to Nightmare and Theatre of Blood, this has been a very successful chunk rolling session. But there are no tasks here. So it's time to go back to the chunk picker for the 13th time, which seems nuts. Has anyone ever had a bigger chunk rolling session than this on Xtreme Onechunk Ironman? Because this is actually crazy right now. Okay, so with that chunk roll, our new number 1 becomes this sort of southeast Morytania, which is kind of massive. If we roll this one, Nightmare seems very likely, because we would then have like 1, 2 chunks that would be rollable that could then go straight into Nightmare. But if we get this one after number 1, Theatre of Blood is so on the cards, and that would be very fucking epic. But other than that, the map is exactly the same. Again, let's stay away from number 11. Let's stay away from 26. Stay away from 27 and roll either 1 or 13. Either of those would be pretty good. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Demonic Ruins. That would be a good one to actually get, but it started on it, so... Yes! Let's fucking go! Oh my god! 13 chunks. Unlucky for some, not unlucky for me, because we have just rolled Venonatis. Oh my god, that is massive. That is so big for the account. I can't even explain. Not only does it put us 1 closer to the Void Waker, which would be an insane weapon to have, both just as a regular weapon and a spec, but it also gives me Red Spider's Eggs, and Red Spider's Eggs will be massive when we eventually roll Herblore, which we are now way closer to getting. Oh, this is massive. This means that we actually have a grind, and it is a good one. Oh my god. And that chunk roll started on Demonic Ruins as well, so it started with Callista at the front, and then we got Venonatis off the back of it. Oh my god. Right, so our tasks are obtain a treasonous ring, obtain a webweaver bow, which feels like a very sick task, no? And then obtain a Venonatis spiderling as well as the Void Waker gem. That is massive. That is so massive. And once it's done, it means we're only Callista away from having a Void Waker on an Xtreme Onechunk Ironman. What the fuck? Right, so this is the gear setup that we're just going to have a go at Venonatis and see how it goes. But it is time to unlock the chunk. This is absolutely massive. I am buzzing about this. So we've got, I think we've got all the escape caves now as well. So I don't really need to think too much about that, which is good. But there's a Silk Chasm. Let's see if there's anybody in there. Hopefully there's not. And if there's not, we can just send it. Oh, I won't know until I've got some KC. Looks like we're good. Right, let's go. Get our first Venonatis kill, hopefully. Okay, I've never killed Venonatis before, I don't think, on any account. And we're about to get our first kill on this account, which has been very hard fought. This has taken nearly 5 minutes to kill once, which is kind of savage. No unique on that first kill. We did get strange fruit, though, which is pretty handy. And yeah, the first kill of what is probably going to be a very, very long grind, unless we get lucky. Let's hope we do. Right, there is kill number 4. And 500 red spider eggs. Right, I'm not going to risk getting any more. Let's just bank that shit and get out of here. 500 red spider's eggs. That is one of the best drops about being here. Okay, I can't teleport out directly from here, but I'm only in like 32, 33 wielding, and I do have the Ring of Wealth. So I can teleport out relatively quickly and come back relatively quickly with the Wilderness Crab teleports. But 4 kill count in the first trip where I don't really know what I'm doing, that feels pretty good. View the looting bag, 500 red spiders eggs, 25 diamonds, rune pickaxe, 50 crown coins. So the rest of it's not too great, but the 500 red spider eggs, that is actually nuts. So I'm very, very excited to get on with this boss and hopefully get some uniques relatively soon. Oh, and there we go. 150 onyx bolt tips. That is such a nutty drop. 1.2 mil worth at a time, and they're actually useful one day as well. That is literally crazy. Oh my god, 150 onyx bolt tips. That is nuts. I swear, I think like Vetion might have dropped like 12 at a time. So no idea why this drops 150 at a time, but that is very fucking sick. 700 death runes at once. That's kind of nuts. I forget how good the loot is at these bosses. Like 700 death runes in one go. That is actually crazy work, isn't it? Like, these bosses are so powerful loot-wise. I mean, we're 9 kills in already, and it's not felt that bad. I feel like it's possibly like 10, 15 kills an hour, something like that. And there is the first combat task for Venonatis, which is just to get 10 kills. It's been relatively uneventful. I've not had a PK attempt yet, and we're playing on like a Friday night, which is like peak-ish time. So yeah, hopefully this will be pretty good, and we can get a lot of kills in, get some loot sooner rather than later, and make an enjoyable video for all of you watching. 45 Ranars, I really want those. Run! And by run, I mean walk. Oh no, I'm so not in a good spot right now. And we escaped with our 45 Ranars. That is like, look at the loot. Just everything. It's just like massive numbers of everything. That is so good. 45 Ranars, big Herblore XP one day. Oh, 20 antidotes. Now that is actually a kind of massive drop for me generally, because the only anti-poison I've had access to up until this point has been the Sanfu serums from Vetion, which obviously I've got quite a lot of, but I want to save those for Nightmare because they work at Nightmare as Ricilium Balms, and antidotes and stuff don't work for that. So having antidotes that I can use for just general anti-poison stuff is massive, and I might bring them here to stop myself getting poisoned by the like escape caves. Oh my god, that was brilliant. You see, yeah, this boss very good in terms of the loot, quite satisfying to kill, to be honest. Except when you mess it up. When you mess it up, things just start cascading wrong, and it's really not fun at that point. But I'm enjoying this grind so far overall. Honestly, what an insane video. 13 chunks rolled in a row, back to back, ending on one of the most desired grinds available on the chunk picker at the moment. Getting the Void Waker 2/3 complete is going to be so awesome, and the resources gathered from Venonatis in pursuit of the pet are going to be invaluable in the future. But it wasn't even just that. Rolling Varrock Center allows me to roll Varlamore and start tree runs. Rolling North Al-Kharid gives me access to the Fire Altar, cutting thousands of hours off my runecrafting grind. Amir's Arena Teleport and the Gem Trader. And we rolled 2 chunks closer to Theatre of Blood. Such an insane chunk rolling session, and I will be back soon with some more Wildy Boss content. Hurrah! Surely though, I can get more lucky than I did at Vetion, right? I'd like to give a special shout out to the channel members, as always, who are Valentine, DevTX, VMP Corp, and Sinfalls, all now at the top of the tier. VMP Corp and Sinfalls are both new there, so a massive shout out to them. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. It is really, really appreciated. As well as Patrick Wright, Jern Scallon, Talfane, Fuklas, and Tommy Rocks at the Amethyst tier, and everybody else at the lower tiers. Thank you so much for financially supporting the channel, especially now that I'm having a baby in the next 2 weeks. So that's very cool. Thank you very much to you guys. Thank you to everybody that is watching, and I'll be back with another one very, very soon. Have a great day.